Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Joyful Hatha Yoga with me, Kalyani Nicole. Let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of a centering. And if you'd like, you can grab a folded blanket and we'll sit on the edge of the folded blanket. So just sitting on the edge gives us a little bit of a boost to our spine. It also allows our knees to relax and rest away from the body a little bit more usually. So wherever you're at this morning, just letting your body settle down into a cross-legged position. If this doesn't feel right for your body, then feel free to stretch your legs out straight in front of you. The other thing I just want to check in with is as we sit here, just kind of noticing how the body feels this morning. Even rocking a little bit forward, stretching the tailbone back a little bit. Noticing if you're rocking a little bit from one side to the other. And then just letting the tailbone rest downward into that support of that folded blanket. Let's circle the arms up and around and take them down behind us for a moment. You can rest on fingertips. If your palms easily reach the floor, feel free to do that as well. Reaching down through that base, drop that tailbone down and take a deep breath in through the front of the body. And exhale, you can exhale through the mouth. Wiggle the elbows a little closer toward each other, just creating that nice open front to the body. Lengthen up even through the back of the neck, deep breath in and out. One more deep, rich breath. Feeling that front body. And exhaling and coming back up to neutral, but keep that openness in the front of the body, especially through that collarbone area. Just continuing to stretch wide through that area, letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. Elbows are just resting under the shoulders. Palms can be on the thighs, up or down. Letting the crown of the head just also reach up. At this point, let's close our eyes for a moment. Just being able to shut off the sense of sight. Dropping into what you're noticing with your breath. You want to invite the breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. As you begin to breathe in through the nose, drawing the breath down a little deeper into the abdomen, into the pelvis. And then exhaling from that abdomen and pelvis back up and out through the nose. Inhaling again into the belly, this time filling the rib cage after the abdomen. And then exhaling from the belly and the rib cage back up out through the nose. Inhale deeply this time into the belly, the rib cage, and then filling the collarbones. And exhale from that belly, rib cage, collarbones. And then continuing with that 3-part breath. For a few more moments, just watching the breath flow in through the nose, into the sinus cavities, down into the lower part of the belly and abdomen. And exhaling from that space back up and out. Good. Just continuing with that breath and just giving the mind another little anchor to focus on. In the center of the chest, we're going to connect into that center between the breastbone and the spine, that area of the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. Just letting the mind's eye settle there. Breathing this 3-part breath. Feeling the chest rise with that inhale and then fall with the exhale. And as we sit here, just beginning to come into the position of being the observer. So observing the breath, observing that space in the center of your chest, observing the thoughts as they come in and just letting them continue on by, passing on by. Stepping back into that silent observer without any judgment or criticism. We sometimes call this the silent witness. Drawing your hands into that heart center, letting the thumbs gently press into your sternum. Deep breath in and out. This time we'll inhale for just 1 Om to signify the beginning of our practice. Inhaling. Release the hands, release the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the head bowed forward here, but continue to lengthen up through the spine. Push down even into your base a little bit more. Feel the lift through the spine. Let the chin come forward. Tuck the tailbone down. Good. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Exhaling, softening those muscles in the back of the neck and the upper back. And then let's draw the right ear over toward the right shoulder. And in this manner, you'll be stretching open the left side of the neck. Relax the left shoulder down a little more if you can. Deep breath in and out, feeling that stretch. Sometimes all the way up into the ear, down into the shoulder, down into the upper back. Exhale, bring the head forward through the center and draw that left ear toward the left shoulder. Opening the right side of the neck. Breathing here, relaxing that right shoulder down away from the ear, stretching open there. Deep breath in and out. And then just taking a few moments, as you will, letting the chin come down through the center. Inhaling right ear to right shoulder. And exhaling the chin down through the center. Inhaling the left ear to the left shoulder. And just continue back and forth with your own breath at your own pace. Now also acknowledging if there's an area that feels particularly tight. Again, coming into that place of the witness without the judgment, no criticism. Our bodies hold tension. That's just life. And pausing in those areas that are tight if you want to, and sending a little more awareness into those areas and breathing into them. So just playing here, continue to lengthen up through the spine. Continue to drop that tailbone down. Sometimes it wants to lift behind us. Good, and then drawing the head up to neutral. Let's move right into a few shoulder circles this morning. So circling those shoulders up and back and down. And again, noticing how you're feeling in these shoulders this morning. Breathing. So one of the things I love about yoga is it really creates more space in the body. As we go through life, we get tense, we hug things in, we squeeze things into the bone. And that serves a purpose often in our lives, any given time for any given reason that those qualities come forward. But we also have this time to undo those. We no longer need that. So circling the shoulders, creating more space in the arms, reaching the shoulders back and up and then forward. So a little bit different direction. Sometimes this will feel a little funny at first if you haven't done this direction. There's sometimes areas too, we feel like we kind of want to hop through that area and skip over it. See if you can move smoothly and slowly through those areas and breathe through them. So we're moving with awareness as we check in with our body. And then a few more circles up and back and down. Good, letting those shoulders rest away from the ears. Let's inhale, reach the arms up nice and long. And exhale that right hand outside your right hip, walk it out to the side. Keep stretching that left hip down. And also don't let the chest rotate to face the floor. Sometimes when we're tight, we start to pull that direction. Let's even play with opening up the chest to the sky a little bit. Deep breath in here. Stretching through that left side, opening that up, nodding the head a little bit if you want here. Good. On your next inhale, lift up and out of the waist. Stretch long through the arms up to the fingertips. Take that left hand outside the left hip. Stretch long now through that right side of the body. Even rotating a little more open to the sky. Yeah, feeling how it changes the stretch in the side body. Good, let's inhale up through the center. Now as we do that, continue that lifting up and out of the waist. We're gonna go one more time over to the right hand outside the hip. Stretch long, open the chest to the ceiling, and just circle that left arm a little bit around. Just exploring again your shoulder joint a little bit deeper, a little bit more wide range of motion here. I'm not gonna do this too long. And then circle that shoulder the opposite way. Just freeing that up a little bit more, so simple. And then taking that arm alongside your temple, lifting up again through the center, and exhaling over to that left, stretching open the right side, rotating. You can push that left hand into the floor to almost facilitate that rotating open a little bit more, and then circling that right arm around. Playing again with your range of motion here, listening to the body though, and not forcing the range of motion to be deeper than it should be. We want to just encourage a little more opening here, but not damage anything. So circling the arm the opposite way. And again, noticing where you might feel a little tightness here. And taking that arm alongside temple. Inhaling up, lifting up and out of the waist. This time we're going to twist to the right. Drop the left hand outside the right thigh. And that right arm is behind you. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And remember that lifting we did at the beginning of class, opening up through the collarbones, widening through them. Taking that and coming into your twist. So you can even play with pushing the left hand a little bit into that right thigh, facilitating your twist a little bit more. But again, not forcing your twist. Just being gentle here. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Twisting all the way around to your left this time. Right arm outside that left thigh. Left arm behind you. Shoulders relax. Lengthen again through the spine. Widen through the collarbones as wide as you can. Push that left hand into the right hand into the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keep the length going into your twist. Remember, we're creating a little more space in the body. Think about how good that will feel to go through the rest of your day with this little more space. Good, inhaling, arms up, coming back around to front. Drop the hands in front of you and curling the toes under behind you. We're gonna rock right on up into Malasana pose. So I like to have a folded blanket to put underneath my heels because my feet in Malasana don't come flat to the floor yet. So taking those feet out a little wider than hips, I even turn them to a little bit of an angle, elbows inside our thighs, press the hands together, lengthen through the spine, drop that tailbone, and breathe through the whole low back, the spine, the hips. It's getting a little more space again, right? So it's kind of a similar idea as to when, we declutter our homes and we clear out and we create space. Remembering how great that feels when your house is clean, your apartment is clean, your room is clean and picked up, and how free you feel. Well, we're doing that with our bodies too. Every time we come onto the mat and we go through our yoga practice, we're decluttering our bodies a little bit more, creating that space and hanging on to that feeling that we generate from that decluttering. So releasing the hands down, take the hands in front of you, lift the hips. If you had a folded blanket back there, move that out of the way. Bring your feet about hip width apart. And we're just gonna hang in a forward fold here. Again, space, opening up the backs of the legs. The bend in the knee can be there if you have tight hamstrings or just waking the back of the legs up this morning. Let that head and neck release. Push down into your legs, straighten those legs a little more if your knees were bent. Little deeper forward fold, drawing the torso toward the thighs. Take the arms out off the shoulders in T position, push into those legs, reversing jackknife all the way up. Lengthen through the arms and drop the hands down. So we're gonna flow for a moment through some sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. Again, opening up the body. One of the nice things about doing yoga first thing in the morning is that basically we're resetting our muscle length for the day, creating space, elongating those muscles, opening up our joints, increasing the lubrication in them by drawing more blood flow to those areas. So keeping all this in mind, near the top of our mat, our feet will be hip width apart. I always take a moment to check in with the base of my feet there. I'm going to practice with my feet together. If you're used to practicing that way, feel free. Or also, if you're new to yoga or you're just traditionally more used to doing the hip distance, then please do that. But line that second toe up with the center of the ankle, if that works for your body. Lift the toes. And it's really fun to just take a moment to stop and connect into our feet. We want to move through this class. We want to get to the next thing, but stopping and having this moment to really ground will change how you go through the rest of your practice. Reaching down through the feet, establishing that connection with the earth. And so lifting the toes is elongating the skin under the feet. We can really feel the mount of the big toe reaching downward, and then the mount of the little toe, and the center of the heel. You can relax your toes, but it's kind of fun to feel like, just take a moment and see if you can spread them out like your fingers a little bit on the floor. Don't worry if you can't, but just fun to play with that, bringing that awareness there. Lengthen through the spine, hug the thigh muscles, and tailbone is dropping. Lengthening up through the spine. Relax the shoulders. A little space under the armpits as we reach the arms toward the floor. Lengthening through the crown of the head, drawing the base of the skull backwards. A lot of us, our heads are forward, so drawing that back, especially if we're used to sitting at the computers or the steering wheel in our car. Take a breath here in Samastahiti. Feel that firm steadiness in this pose, but soften within that framework too. Inhaling, we're reaching the arms up and exhaling our hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, palms face forward. Lift up and out of the waist and take that gentle back bend. And exhale, forward fold, but we're gonna lengthen that spine forward and down. Bend the knees again if you need to here. Inhale, we're gonna step back with the right foot, bring the right knee to the floor in our low lunge. Just take a breath here. Opening those hips. Take the hands to the floor, step back, retaining that inhale, plank. Push through the heels, draw the shoulder blades in toward the spine. Tailbone is neutral. And go ahead and exhale, knees, chest and chin. Keep the elbows in. And inhales, push right on up into cobra. And from an exhale, toes curl under. Lift the hips up and back into your downward dog, our first one today. So pedal through the heels. Stretch long through the arms, lifting the hips up and back. Push into the mound of the thumb and the second finger, your index finger, and roll the inner arms up, creating that space for the head. Inhaling, stepping that right foot forward between the hands. Left knee comes down. Ooh, take a breath here. Breathe into those hips. On an exhale, lift the hips, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Now we're lifting up and out of the waist, just like we were when we were seated. Take the gentle back bend and exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, step back with the left foot. Bring the left knee down. Retain that inhale, stepping back for plank. And exhaling again. Knees, chest and chin, elbows stay in. Inhale, pushing up into your cobra. Widen through those collarbones. And exhale back, downward dog. Hello, my friend. Yeah. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right knee comes down. Exhaling, right foot forward, forward fold. And inhale, we'll sweep the arms up. And exhale, arms down by our side. Deep breath in and out. Reach down through the 3 points of your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, palms forward, lift up and out of the waist, and exhaling into your forward fold. Inhaling, stretching the right foot back, bring the right knee down. Retain your breath, stepping back for plank. Your choice this time, exhaling, knees, chest, and chin, into cobra, or lowering into chaturanga and up into upward dog. Either way, exhaling back to downward dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale that right foot forward, left knee down. Exhaling left foot forward to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping arms up, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling left foot back, left knee down. And again, your choice, stepping back to plank. Exhaling through chaturanga or 8 points pose into upward dog or cobra. And exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling, step that left foot forward, right knee down. Exhaling, right foot forward to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, arms by our side. One more round. Inhale, push down through the feet, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, palms forward. Exhaling into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthening, stretching, opening, right foot back. Retain the inhale, step back for your plank. And exhale, 8 points pose or chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling, stepping the right foot forward, left knee down. Exhaling, left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up, gentle back bend. And exhale into forward fold. Inhaling, left foot back, left knee down. Retain the breath, stepping back for plank. Once more, 8 points pose or chaturanga. Inhaling into upward dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward dog. Inhaling, left foot forward, right knee down. Exhaling, right foot forward, forward fold. And inhale, sweeping arms up. Exhaling, arms by your side. Reach down through the 3 points of your feet. Lengthen through the spine. Close your eyes. Breathe. Belly, filling that rib cage, collarbones. Exhale. Belly, ribs, and collarbones. Finding a steady rhythm here again. Good. One more breath. Great. Bring hands to heart. We'll just move through a few standing postures here. Staying at the top of our mat, let's set it for Utthita Trikonasana to start. So, feet can be hip width to start. Lengthen through that spine. Step back with that right foot. Pivot to bring it parallel with the back edge of the mat. So we're going to line the left heel up by heel toeing that foot over with the arch of the right foot. Now your distance front to back can probably be usually wider than that first step. So go ahead and stretch that right leg out a little further behind you. Hug into the thigh muscles. Hug the thigh muscles right into the bone. Push down through the 3 points of both feet. I lift the toes sometimes to feel that, and then relax them down. Don't grip the toes into the mat. So as we stand here, I want you just to focus on that foundation again to start. Chest is opening to the side, hips are rolling to the side. We're drawing that right hip back behind us, tailbone is reaching down. Okay, I want to do one more thing here just to make sure we have that space behind us for the tailbone. Stick your butt out behind you a little bit. Good, you feel how that opens up back there where that sacrum is in the tailbone. Tuck the tailbone into that space. Keeping that there, draw back underneath of you. So not curling under, but straight down. Keep drawing that right thigh back. Bring the arms up. We're gonna slide toward the top of our mat, reaching through that left arm, hinging at the left hip here. Just till you find your edge here where you're feeling either a good stretch in the back of that left thigh, or the left side body wants to start rounding. Go ahead and take the left hand down and the right hand up at that point. Gaze at the floor, the horizon, or the upper right thumb. Breathe. Remember, we're creating space here. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip, opening and rotating the chest open to the side a little more. Deep breath in. Keep drawing that right thigh back behind you. Good. Press into those feet. Lift up. Dropping into Virabhadrasana 2. Bend that left knee. Good. Still drawing that right thigh behind us. Stick your butt out again. Tuck the tailbone. And sink down into your lunge. Keep drawing that right thigh back. Press into the outer edge of that right foot. Shoulders are stacked over our heels. Our left knee is over our left heel or ankle area. Good. Let's go ahead and turn our gaze forward over the third left finger. Now notice that the shoulders are creeping up the back. Draw them down. Tailbone is still lengthening downwards. Good. Breathing. I think there's a tendency sometimes in this pose to stick our butt out a little bit and really overarch in that low back. So being mindful of that, keeping that left knee tracking forward. Good. Go ahead and drop the left forearm to the left thigh. We're going to take the right arm out off the shoulder, draw the shoulder blade in toward the spine, plugging that arm bone in, and take that arm alongside the temple. Good, so that arm is nice and activated. So we're bringing the left shoulder under us. It's not rolling forward and opening to the side here, breathing. Good, circling that arm around. We're going to pivot on the back foot. Walk the left foot over so we're more hip distance apart. Setting up for crescent pose on this side. Lift through the back right thigh. Draw the left hip back, the right hip forward, and sink into your lunge here. So keep lifting through that back right thigh. Keep lunging. Draw the shoulder blades again toward the spine. Bring the arms up so we're open through the front of the chest. Breathing, deep breath in and out. Good, and exhaling, dropping the hands to the heart. You're just going to spring on forward to the top of your mat. Shake your legs out. Good. So we're going to do all those poses on the opposite side. So again, stay at the top of your mat. You can just start with your feet hip width if you want. We're going to step back with the left foot this time. Right foot is facing forward. The left foot becomes parallel with the back edge of the mat. The right foot can heel toe over to bisect that left arch. Hug the thigh muscles in, lift the toes. Check your distance, going a little wider than you may be used to. Just play with that. Okay, so here, stick the butt out again. Tuck the tailbone in. Draw that back under you. Keep that left thigh popping back behind you. It kind of pops forward, okay? Hugging the thigh muscles in, keeping those kneecaps lifting. Slide the right arm up toward the top of your mat. Find your edge. Drop the right hand down. Left arm up. Breathe. Good. Lifting back up, bend the right knee. We want that right knee over the right heel. If you feel too wide front to back here, like this is a bit of a strain, and that knee is trying to be back a little bit, then go ahead and draw that right foot towards you a little more, or heel to that back foot, back in towards the foot a little bit, to the right foot. Sink into your side lunge here. Stick your butt out again. Feel that space, tuck the tailbone into that. Draw that all back underneath of you. Keeping that back left thigh, reaching back behind you. Opening this set to the wide, long edge of the mat. That right knee stays over that right heel, tracking forward. Arms up. Turn your gaze to look forward over the third right finger. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Right forearm to right thigh. Again, we're not collapsing that shoulder. Sometimes it will want to roll forward. Keep drawing that shoulder blade in toward the spine, keeping that arm engaged. Left arm out off the shoulder here. Plug that arm bone in. Draw that shoulder blade toward the spine. Keep that there as you swing that arm up to the side. Now rotate that chest open as much as you can, pressing through that back leg. Breathe. You can gaze up under that left arm if that's okay. Look at the floor if you can't, or the horizon. Continue our steady breath. Swing that arm around, lift the torso up. Pivoting on the back foot, rock the right foot over to the right a little bit. Hopping up if you need to. Crescent pose on this side. Right hip back, left hip forward. Sink into your side lunge. Keep lifting through that back thigh. Don't let it rock down. Good. Pushing through the back, mound of the big toe and the little toe. And that left foot. Arms come up. Shoulder blades are going down and in toward the spine. Spaciousness in the front body and the back body. Good. Drop the hands to the heart and effortlessly lift up and to the front. Shake your legs out. Good. So let's play with doing some dancer pose today. So in dancer pose, we're going to be opening wide through the upper body again. There's a couple of things here though, when we come into this pose, I think sometimes there's a tendency for people to want to hinge forward so much and bring their torso down almost like parallel with the floor. I don't want you to worry about that part. I want you to lift up and out of the waist, open through the chest and heart, okay? And then the other thing is, the real secret to any balance posture is being really grounded. So we have a couple of tools here to help with that. Our breath, so finding that steady rhythm of breath as we come into this pose, and focus. So we're going to use an external focal point or drishti. So if you're feeling unsteady today, you just feel like a little more in your head, you're not so grounded, you may want to keep that focal point more at the floor, a few feet in front of you. If you're feeling, you don't have to feel super grounded, but you're feeling able, then go ahead and keep your gaze at eye level. And just picking a spot on the wall, if you have a window you're looking at, just picking one spot that doesn't move to use as that external focal point. So let's go ahead and start on the right foot. So as always, we want to always reach down through the 3 points of our foot. Bend that knee, that right knee, sink into that leg. So we're transferring all that energy to that leg. You're going to take your left hand and roll that so the palm is facing out to the side and your thumb is behind you. Bend that left knee. As always, if you want to have a wall nearby to do this, feel free to do that. So take your thumb and press that left thumb into the space between the mound of the little toe and the mound of the big toe. So just at the bottom of that. For some of you, this might be enough of a balance here. As we come into this, we want to keep that knee tracking back behind us, not winging out to the side, okay? So tuck the tailbone, push down through the 3 points of the feet, gaze forward, find your focal spot, steady breath. Allowing the collarbone to spread wide on this left side. Take the right arm up alongside your ear. Again, staying here if you need to. When you feel steady, push the left hand into the foot and the foot into the hand. Lift up through the heart. Opening here, balancing and breathing. Good. And then drawing that leg toward the floor again. Before you release that foot down, if you can, take that knee in front of you. Hug the knee in, stretching here. Drop the tailbone, lengthen through the spine. Good. And then slowly stretch that leg out. Release it back to the floor. Good. Shaking the legs out. We'll do that on the other side now. Left foot reaching down through the 3 points. Giving your weight into that leg. Focal point at eye level. Find that steady breath. Right hand rolling the right palm out, thumb behind you. Catching the right ankle on the inside. That thumb pushing into that spot between the mound of the big toe and the little toe. Find your breath and your balance here. Left arm comes up alongside the temple. Lifting up and out of the waist. Coming into your pose. Breathing, steady breath. And focus. Go ahead, release that knee toward the floor again, and take that knee in front of you. Hug it in, drop the tailbone down, lengthen through the spine. Good. I love playing with transitions like that when we're in our balance postures. Shake it out. Don't worry if you weren't able to be steady through the whole part. Let's go ahead and grab our blanket and opening that up wide, bringing that to the mat. Take your knees out wide in a wide child's pose, big toes together. Walk the hands forward on the mat, lengthening through the spine. Dropping the forearms to the floor and the forehead down. Rest in your child's pose here. Breathe deeply, stretch, lengthen through the sacrum and the spine. Maybe even through the back of the neck. Continue to soften just a little bit more. Sliding the hands back towards you under the shoulders, lifting the torso up. Knees hip width apart underneath the hips. Hands shoulder width apart underneath the shoulders. We're going to come into revolved child's pose. It was a pretty good deep back bend and chest opener. So let's just do a little reset with a little twist. That's one of my absolute favorites. Take the right hand with palm up under the left arm. Revolve child's pose, coming onto your right shoulder, your right side of your head. Now if this doesn't feel good here, you can play with shifting your head forward and your shoulders forward a little more or back. Resting here, push into that right arm. Lift the left arm up. Bend the elbow, let the arm rest behind you, or even reach for that right thigh. Keep lengthening through the spine as you inhale. And exhale, rotate open a little more if you can. Deep breathing. Good. Exhale, rotating to face the floor. Left hand comes down. Lift the torso back up. We're going to do this twist to the other side. Left hand with palm up under the right arm. Left shoulder, left side of head come in contact with the floor. Taking the right arm up, bend the elbow, let it rest behind the back, or reach for that left thigh. Push into the left shoulder, the left arm into the floor, rotating you open a little more. Lengthen through the spine, deep breath in and out. Excellent. We rotate to face the floor. Left hands under the shoulder. Lifting our torso back up. Good. We're going to cross our legs behind us. Walk the hands towards you. Coming right on over to a cross-legged position. Let's do a little bit for the hips here. I feel like we've been really playing with opening the upper body, the shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to sit on the edge of a folded blanket. And start by kind of coming into a few areas, different areas around the hip. So the hip is really interesting. You know, I think a lot of you probably know this, but it's a ball and socket joint. So it goes right up into this little concave area called the acetabulum, which is a part of your pelvis. And it connects into there. And as it does that, there's all kinds of muscles all the way around this hip that are holding it into place. So we want to strengthen those muscles, which is one of the things we're doing when we're in our standing postures, and we're also stretching some of them too, strengthening and stretching. We're trying to come into all the different angles all the way around that hip joint. So we're not just favoring like the front of the back or the inside or the outside. So we want to have space and freedom all around that area, but we also want to have those muscles be strong, so strong and supple. So We're going to come into the first pose here. We'll come into bound angle pose. So bringing the soles of your feet together, and you can draw those feet in closer to your body. And pressing the feet toward each other, pressing the lower leg toward the upper leg, and upper leg toward the lower leg. And see how that brings a little more action into the hips here, lowering the knees even a little toward the floor. At that point, you can open your feet like a book if your knees are coming down closer to the floor. Lengthening up through the spine and hinge forward on an exhale. So lengthen the spine forward. If you have any back issues at all, keep the spine long, like herniated discs or, I don't know, scoliosis, lengthen forward. Any disc degeneration, spondylolisthesis, keep the spine long. If your spine is healthy and you know it, you can begin to round when you find the edge of your pose. So coming to your edge and breathing here, lengthening or rounding. So targeting those inner hip muscles right there. Allowing them to soften on the exhales, but keeping the integrity of the pose. Good. One more breath here. And then inhaling and lifting the torso back up. So let's cup our hands under our knees here to lift those knees up. Good, so we're going to target the outer edges of the hips a little bit with this next pose. So starting with your legs out in front of you, keep the right knee bent up. We're going to cross that right leg over the left. So this is basically Gomukhasana legs or cow face pose. So drop the right knee away from you. You're resting in the outer edge of that right foot. This may be enough. You may start to feel this stretch in the hip, the outer hip. If not, you're going to bend the left knee and take that left heel outside of the right hip. We don't want it tucked underneath of us. Now you may start to feel this in the outer edges of both hips. Ideally, we're trying to stack knees over knees. You're still not feeling a lot here. It's okay. We're going to take it to another level too. But always flexing the toes toward the shin whenever we have the knee kind of in a torqued position here to help protect that knee. Lengthen up through the spine. But as always, if you feel pain in your knees, come out of this pose and just rest till we move to the next pose. Resting in child's pose is always fine. You're on your back. So breathing into what you're feeling here. If this is enough sensation for you right here, stay right here and breathe. Otherwise, you can take that thumb into that spot again at the base of the mound of the big toe and little toe. And you're just going to bow forward over your legs. Lengthening, kind of thinking about that, lengthening the torso forward and down, rounding. You may feel the intensity more. Pause and breathe. Good. Inhaling and lifting that torso back up. Just going to take your hands over to your left side. Place them on the floor. You're going to lift the hips and you're going to spin right around until that left leg ends up on top of the right. So you may need to make a little adjustment here. Again, if this is too much for you or you have that leg out straight, you're just going to put the right leg out straight, bend the left knee, and let that fall away from you. Trying again to bring this to a place where the knees are close to being stacked over each other. That takes time, again, depending on how tight you are in those outer hips. Flex the toes toward the shin. Toward the shins. Lengthen up through the spine. Breathing here. This is enough on the side. Stay here. Breathing into those tight areas. Or take those thumbs again to that point between the base of the mound of the big toe and the little toe. Bow over the legs, but think about that, lengthening that spine forward, reaching the sits bones, tailbone down behind you. Breathing, release the head and neck. Staying again with that flat back if you have any back issues at all. Softening on the exhales. And then go ahead and inhale and lift that torso back up. Let's lean back. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Rock them out a little bit. Good. So now I want to just get into the hamstrings a little bit, where they attach into the back of the leg there. Stretch the legs out long, straight in front of you. Draw the toes back towards you. Now, some of you may have been taught to move the flesh back when you're in this pose. Do not do that. That puts too much strain on those hamstrings and can actually cause injury. We have that flesh there for a reason. Leave it there. So let that be a little bit of a cushion for you. Lengthen up through the spine. Legs are active, hugging the thigh muscles in. Arms come up and lengthen forward over those legs. Let the hands come to the floor, the lower legs, or the feet. Breathe here into the back of those legs and the low back, wherever you're feeling this. So getting a little more space into the back of those legs, into the low back. Noticing where you feel that tightness. Breathe. See if you can consciously teach the body to soften those areas, but not lose your integrity of your pose. Good. Inhale, lifting that torso up. Let's go ahead and circle those arms up and around. Arms down behind you, fingers pointing in. Point the toes, lifting up. Lifting those hips up, deep breath in. And release to the floor. Okay, let's come on to our backs. I'm just going to open my blanket up on my mat. So I want to do just a little core work though before we come all the way down into our back. So let's stay in seated here just for a moment in boat pose. So lengthen through the spine, hold behind the knees. We want to keep that spaciousness and openness through the front body. Keep the core engaged, draw that belly button in and up, nice and active and strong. Begin to lean back and lift the legs. Coming first into a position where the lower legs are parallel with the floor. Keep lifting through the heart. If you feel steady here, let go of the arms. Arms can be out. Draw the shoulder blades toward the spine. Breathe. If you feel okay here, begin to straighten the legs, point the toes, lengthen through the spine so we're not losing any of that core here. You may feel a little shaking, a little burning in the core. Keep breathing. Good, let's go ahead. Drop the feet. Lengthen through the spine. Round over the legs for just a moment. Let's roll right on down onto our backs, or if you have back issues, just come down how you need to. Lengthen through the spine on the floor. Shoulder blades underneath of you. We're going to take the legs up to the ceiling and just do a little slight inversion here. So just letting the legs reach up. If you want to hold the back of the legs, then feel free. Otherwise, just resting here in legs at the wall position just for a few breaths. Good. We're going to lower the left leg down and hug the right knee in. Push through that left heel. I'm going to keep that left leg nice and active and straight here. We're going to come into our supine twist. Bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. Move the hips over to the right. Roll onto the left hip. You can hook the right toes behind the left leg. Keep that right shoulder touching the floor, not rolling up and lifting that off at all. Right arm is off the shoulder in T position. That left leg is still active. We're drawing the toes toward the shin. We're dropping the left hip down away from, right hip down away from the right shoulder. Tailbone is tucked down, not under. You can even turn your head to look at your right hand if you want, and breathe. Good, let's roll onto our backs. Move those hips into center. Stretch that right leg out, push through that heel, draw the left thigh in, just giving a nice squeeze here. Take the sole of that left foot to the floor, move the hips over to the left, rolling onto that right hip, that right leg stays active. Left hip is now the one drawing away from the left shoulder is touching the floor. The left hand is off the shoulder, T position, palm can be up or down. Turning your head if you'd like to look at the left hand. Breathe, lengthening through the back here. Remember that spaciousness we're creating. Tailbone drops down away from the spine, so it's not curling up toward the back. It is down neutral. Good. And exhaling onto the back. Moving the hips back into center. Hug the knees in, squeezing. You can go ahead and draw the head up toward the knees, squeezing, curling up. And go ahead and release, stretching the legs out wide on your mat, out toward the edges of the mat. Shoulder blades underneath of you, palms just gently rocking up toward the ceiling, wherever they fall. Rock your head a little side to side. If you have an eye pillow and you want to apply that to your face, to your eyes, go ahead. Otherwise, rest, closing the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, just let the body sink into the floor, just almost like it's melting downward into the earth. Let the feet flop out a little more to the side, letting those hips be a little more open. And this time, just letting go of the breath, letting the body just be as you rest here in your Shavasana. Just letting the body absorb that practice, staying there for a few more moments, a few more breaths. letting the body just be breathed naturally, without any thought, without any effort. And just even imagining you're just lying in the tall summer grass. This grass, there's no ticks and no bugs, no worries. You can feel the soft support of the grass underneath of you, and you're looking up at the beautiful blue sky, and there's these fluffy white clouds just kind of slowly drifting on by. You can hear some birds chirping and playing. And you're just feeling the gentle warmth of the sun. It's not hot, it's one of those perfect days. Soft support underneath of you. Mother Earth just inviting you to let go a little more as she wraps her arms around you. Let her hold you as you continue to sink into her support. Continuing a few more moments on your mat if you would like. Otherwise, expanding that breath again, creating that little more space in the body. Letting the breath kind of explore those newly created spaces, stretching out into the legs and the hips, down to the toes and the bottom of the feet, exploring. Up, out through the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers, and through the neck and the top of the head. Allowing that breath to move into some movement. Beginning to stretch and move however your body would like. But staying with that stillness and with that space that you've just created, rolling even to your right side for a moment and pausing to enjoy that space. Feeling how creating that space invited a little more stillness as well. Pushing into the left hand. Lifting the torso up. Coming back to a seated position. Just taking that moment to kind of lean forward a little, stretching those sit bones and the tailbone back behind you. As you lift the torso back up, drop the tailbone down. Down through the legs, lengthening up through the spine. Down through the shoulders, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Deep breath in. And out. Draw the hands to your heart center. Press the hands in toward each other, creating that little bit of pressure there. Causing the spine to lengthen a little more as we draw the shoulder blades down and in a little more. Good. Take another deep breath in. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti Om, peace, peace, peace. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you live with grace and ease and spaciousness. Namaste. And once again, thank you so much for joining me on my mat and yours.